Halito. Welcome to Cane Fu. In this video, we are learning our form number 2, which we call lapping wave. Now, as I said in the first video, our focus is always on our own body, our own connectedness within our center of gravity and how our weight moves through our feet. But a self-defense scenario is sort of what gives meaning to the movements. So for lapping wave, sometimes someone is making you feel uncomfortable, but it's not time to threaten them, it's not time to hit them. It is never appropriate to strike someone when you or someone you love is not in danger, right? Words are not attacks. So we still want to be cognizant of someone who's acting in a threatening way. So with lapping wave, this is how we practice this. We begin in our normal stance, and we're going to imagine that someone is being loud, being aggressive, and they're getting a little closer to us than we're comfortable with. Our first move is to protect ourselves in a non-threatening way by getting some space. We're going to step into what we call a long cane position. So in neutral here, someone gets a bit too close to us, we're going to bring our hand up going, hey buddy, I don't want any part of what's going on here. We're going to take a big step back with our open hand side as we slide our front foot back, our cane between us and our offender, going, look, I don't want any part of this business that's going on here. Next, let's say they choose to get a little bit closer to us, and we need to say very clearly to them with our body language, do not get closer to me. We are going to stance switch backwards. That means this front foot is going to step back, and we're going to go into what we call a full guard position with our front palm up on the front of our stick, our back hand back here. And we're saying pretty clearly here, we don't have to use any words, don't get closer to me. Let's say they don't get the hint and they decide to close that distance. We're going to take a shuffle step back first to give ourselves a little bit more space. A shuffle step is where if we're moving backwards, we're going to move the back foot first and then the front foot back. And then immediately we're going to stance switch forward and push with the crook of our cane. And then we're going to stance switch forward and push with the crook of our cane. And then we're going to shuffle step forward and simultaneously slide our hands together and come over the top with a two-hand strike, pushing and pulling our cane as we do so. So here it is again. I'll turn a bit sideways so we can see here. Someone gets a little bit too close to me, and I begin by going, oh boy, look, I really do not want to smell your breath. And they insist. They're like, you've got to smell my breath. Get over here. And I step back and I go, look, I seriously do not want to smell your breath. And they insist. They close that distance that we just made. Stance switch back. Oh, sorry. Shuffle step back, stance switch, push, stance switch, push, shuffle step, overhead strike. Now in practice, we always do both sides. So don't forget to swap sides. And here we go. I'll show you from this angle. First step, guy's too close, he's being too loud. We're going to step back with our open hand side. Hand is up, negotiating, going, look, I don't want any part of this. Cane is out long. Stance switch to full guard. Shuffle step back should they choose to close that distance. And then stance switch forward, push. Stance switch forward, push. Shuffle step forward, overhead strike.